What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my channel, Sports Against the Grain. Shout out to my new subscribers. My bad, and welcome y'all in the last video I did a few days ago covering the Chargers Eagles game out there in Inglewood that I attended. If y'all checked out my shorts, welcome to the channel. This is a sports channel based on NBA and NFL content primarily. I cover other sports, but this is what I'm doing right now is NBA and NFL. So this video is going to be between the Vegas Raiders and the Philadelphia Eagles. This game happened this morning in Philadelphia. It was a one-sided game. Bro, the Las Vegas Raiders got shut out for the second time this season and lost their eighth consecutive game on the season. Now they are 2-12. They're dead last in the league, I believe, tied with Tennessee. They got shut out, ironically, 31-0 again. So the first game that they lost in the beginning of the streak was October 19th to the Kansas City Chiefs, who have been eliminated from playoff contention earlier this afternoon. Pat Mahomes tore his ACL, but that's another video for another day. And this is the second time they've been shut out, 31-0. They haven't won a game since October 12th, and that was against the Tennessee Titans, who are just as bad as they are. They tricked people. They won their first game of the season in New England, who is the best team in the AFC, I believe. Like number one, number two seed. They beat them 20-13, and it was just downhill from there. The the Raiders struggled terribly in this football game. They did not even get into the Philadelphia red zone all night. No red zone trips whatsoever, man. You know what I'm saying? The Eagles had 27 first downs. The Raiders only had 7. They could not convert on third down. Las Vegas was 3 for 12 on third down conversions, and the Eagles were 10 for 13. No team converted on the fourth down. The Eagles had 66 plays, the Raiders 22. The Eagles dominated the clock 39 minutes versus 24 Las Vegas. It was a clean game, though, despite the score. Only one turnover, and that was by Kenny Pickett in the beginning of the third when he threw an interception to start the second half. Each team only had 3 penalties. Let's get into some player stats, man. Um, so Jalen Hurts threw 12 for 15, 175, 3 touchdowns. Even Tanner McKee got in the game in the fourth quarter. You know, he was 3 for 3, threw some good passes, 33 yards, and that's the Inland Empire quarterback from Corona Centennial. So shout out to him, show some IE love. Saquon Barkley ran for 22. I'm sorry, ran 22 times for 78 yards. Tank Bigsby, the backup, he ran for 57 yards, 17 carries. Jalen Hurts scrambled 7 times for 39 yards. Dallas Goedert was balling. He did drop a pass earlier in the game, and he ended up having 70 yards off of 6 catches. Devontae Smith had 50 yards off 2 catches. A.J. Brown had 41 yards off of 2 catches. And for the Raiders, man, straight up, bro, the Raiders were held down to 75 total yards. This is an NFL low for any team this season, and it's also the lowest. This is the lowest the Raiders have been held down to yards since. Oh man, hold on. Let me see. I'm not trying to read this wrong, man. So this is the lowest amount of yards a team has been held down to since the 2009 St. Louis Rams that were 1-15. And this is the best Eagles defensive game as far as yards given up since 2000. I'm sorry, not 2000, since 1955. They allowed only 49 yards to the Chicago Cardinals. That was December 4th, 1955. And the last time the Eagles shut out a team was 7 years ago, and it was then called the Washington Redskins. They shut them out 24-0, December 30th, 2018. I'm not here to flex on the Raiders. I'm not here to shit on them. This team is awful. Ashton Genty, only 35 yards. Kenny Pickett, 64 yards. Sacked 4 times, lost 35 yards. No touchdown, 1 interception. Brock Bowers, 28 yards, 6 catches, 8 targets. The rookie, Jack Beck, the receiver, 17 yards. Tyler Lockett, 2 catches, 10 yards. This is atrocious, man. This is just awful, bro. The Raiders didn't have Geno Smith. I believe he hurt his shoulder last week in the last game that they played against Denver. And he has some back issues that he's going through. So this was Kenny Pickett's first start of the season, the former Eagle. He didn't really play with us last year. He has a Super Bowl ring being the backup. Does he really have championship experience? You know what I'm saying? The Eagles, man, I'm just going to say this real quick. We're probably going to win the division. If the Cowboys lose tonight, I believe we clinch. So the Eagles' last 3 games next week on the 20th, they're going against Washington in DC. They play the Bills on the 28th in Buffalo, and they play Washington again January 4th. I believe the Eagles can win all 3 of these games. If anything, go 2-1, maybe lose to the Bills, or they could possibly go 1-2 because division games are different, right? But the Commanders have problems of their own. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get down to it. The Raiders, the reason why they're awful is because of their offensive line, man. They they have some of the worst offensive rankings in the NFL this season, man. So I'm gonna be straight up, man. This team needs to fire Pete Carroll and both of his sons, man. Check this out, man. Check this out. So in total offense, the Raiders are second to last, 31st. In pass offense, they are in the high 20s. This is what, 27th or 26th in the league in passing yards per game. They are dead last in points per game. They only average 15 points a game, bro. And they are dead last in rush offense. You cannot have an effective offense if you do not have an offensive line, man. And the Raiders have had injuries at this position all season. Their veteran Colton Miller has been out most of the season. That's their left tackle. And Jackson Powers Johnson, their right guard, has been out for some time. Their backup tight end, Ian Thomas, he's been out. You're just not gonna get very far if you cannot establish an offensive line that's consistent. And they fired Chip Kelly in late November, just a few weeks ago, in 11 games. They're 2-9 after they lost to the Cleveland Browns. And I don't like Chip Kelly. He used to coach the Eagles. I do not rock with him. He's a great offensive mastermind. And even somebody of his caliber can only do so much when you don't have the talent. So Pete Carroll is pretty effed up for firing him because he scapegoated Chip Kelly and he's got his sorry ass sons coaching his team, man. Like it's unbelievable, bro, that you got bro, you got Brandon Carroll, his son, alongside with you. He's the O line run game coordinator. And it's just wild to me, man, that it's like Brian James treatment with the Lakers with LeBron. I'm just in disbelief. And then the quarterbacks coach is is Nate Carroll, his other son, his younger son. And why not fire your kids? I know why. It's nepotism, right? You can't fire your own flesh and blood, right? And the GM, John Spytek, he just got hired this past January, so you can't really fire a GM that just got the job, right? But obviously he brought on Pete Carroll and his terrible coaching staff. And I don't want to piss on Al Davis's grave, but his kids suck at running his team. Mark Davis is the current owner of Raiders Nation since 2011. And I got a lot of respect for Raiders Nation, man. You know, personally, they're one of the biggest families, if not the biggest family ever in football. And they beat my Eagles in 1981. And yeah, I wasn't even born yet. So they beat the Eagles in 1981 in the Super Bowl that year. I believe that's the Eagles' first trip to the Super Bowl. So, you know, I show respect. I give props when it's due. But I blame this on the front office as well, man, because the last time the Raiders drafted an offensive lineman in the first round was in 2021, and they got the Alabama tackle Alex Leatherwood. He's not even in the NFL no more, bruh. The Raiders cut him after his rookie season because he was underperforming. He was struggling. I'm going to go down the list of these first round picks since 2019 that the Raiders have had. Keelan Farrell, he's from Clemson. He's not on the team no more. He was a DN. They drafted Josh Jacobs that year in 2019, and he had a DUI with the Vegas Raiders. Thankfully, he didn't kill nobody, right? And now he's on the Green Bay Packers. He went there a few seasons ago. Then they drafted safety John Abraham that season. He's no longer on the team. He got cut after his rookie or his second year. He had like a bad shoulder injury, I believe, and he was never the same. 2020, Henry Ruggs, Alabama wideout star. We all know what happened to him. He, accidentally unallowed a lady and her dog speeding, going like over 150 miles per hour. Reckless wide receiver. Last game he played was against the Eagles in 2021. I was trying to go to that game in Vegas. I'm not vaccinated. That's for another day and time. And then right after that, their cornerback they drafted in 2020, Damon Arnett, was getting death threats on social media. So he clapped back and was brandishing firearms. And you can't do that, especially as an athlete, man. Self-incriminating yourself as a civilian. The Raiders got rid of him. You know what I'm saying? Alex Leatherwood, that's a guy that's talked about. They drafted him in 2021. 2022, they didn't have a first round pick. They traded to Green Bay. I believe that possibly has something to do with the Josh Jacobs trade or whatever. Moving forward, 2023, Tyree Wilson. He's still on the team now. He's a D tackle, backup now for Max Crosby. And they better hope that Max Crosby don't demand a trade. He just got a big contract extension in the offseason for like 3 years, 100 something million, like 105, 110. That's their star DN. And Brock Bowers, he was drafted in 2024, the tight end from Georgia. He made a Pro Bowl after his rookie season. He's only had 100 yards, I think, once or twice this year. And this past year, they drafted Ashton Jeanty, the second finisher in the Heisman runner-up. He went to Boise State, star running back. He's only had 100 yards once. When you look at the dynamics of the Vegas Raiders, man, their front office sucks ass. The Davis family, kind of like the Buss family with the Lakers, they don't really know how to run their team, man. And Tom Brady is a minority owner. I think he became the minority owner this year or last year. And I always say this about great players. Great players don't really know how to run a team. They just know how to play within the system, right? And you got to put the blame on Geno Smith too, man, because he currently leads the NFL in interceptions. He was second in the league in interceptions last year. He has 14 picks already, this season, man. And he has 16 touchdowns. And last year he had a career year in Seattle. And he also leads the league in being sacked the most times. He's been sacked 49 times, man. This is inexcusable, bro. Like last year, he had a great season, but he still threw a lot of picks. He was still getting sacked quite a bit. Geno Smith is going to move the chains downfield. He's going to give you a lot of yards. He's even going to score for you. But when it comes down to the interceptions, man, the defense is actually mediocre. They're decent. It's just when you turn over the ball so much, it's going to make the defense look bad. They're going to give up points. They're going to give up a lot of field goals and touchdowns here and there because they don't have a lot of field to protect. And you got to blame Geno Smith. He's a veteran quarterback. But Pete Carroll brought Geno Smith from Seattle. You know what I'm saying? He brought his two sons alongside. Like you got to put blame on the coaching staff, man, and the front office. But regardless, man, the Raiders, they're finished, man. They haven't been the same since 2021 when they last made the playoffs. They're 10-7 that season, and in 2023 they're 8-9. So they're almost 500 just 2 seasons ago, and now they're just at the bottom of the totem pole, man. They're plankton in the Pacific Ocean. It's just bad. I really feel that the Raiders are gonna have to let go of Pete Carroll and his coaching staff, man. This is atrocious. I don't even know what else to say, but yeah, you know me, I'm an Eagles fan, man. We did that. But until next time, this your boy, Sports Against the Grain. I'm out.